Alright, welcome back to another Grand Blue Fantasy video. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Beelzebub, my favorite character in the entire game. I haven't played the character in a while. I was playing with other characters, kinda went on a trip, because as soon as I started playing Beelzebub, the first day I had Grand Blue, I felt like the character was really strong. I felt like he was very powerful, very kind of overpowered a bit. Which is very silly to think about now, because after that I went to play other characters and time has passed. A lot of people figured out things with a lot of characters and all that stuff, and it turns out that Beelzebub is actually one of the weakest characters in the game right now. Which is quite ironic, because I thought that this character was really overpowered. I went out my way to play other characters, but Beelzebub, there were two patches and Beelzebub didn't get anything at all. So during that time that I was playing other characters, I didn't know much about what people were thinking about this character. I wasn't even paying attention to tier lists and all that stuff. So I started looking at what people were thinking about, and people were they kept saying that Beelzebub is trash, he's whack, he's a trash character. And I was like, there's no way this character is bad. Like, there's no way this character is a bad character. And I'd say last week, I think it's last week, I went back to playing Beelzebub, and I got my ass kicked. I got my ass kicked so bad. It seems like a lot of people are now used to how he plays, to how he does things, and you realize that the character is very predictable. He's a very predictable character because he's extremely slow. He doesn't really have a proper game plan. You just do random stuff with this character and hope that something works. But he's not a great character for sure. I don't know about weak. I don't know about the one of the weakest character, because he seems okay to me. I'm able to do stuff. Just today I hit S rank with him, and I didn't play rank in a while as well, so I feel like he's fine. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, some of his stuff are just whack. Some of his stuff are just so bad. So I wanted to talk a little bit about him and how I feel about the character overall. I think it's fun to play, but it's also really trash. So there was this patch when Zooey came out. It seems like they didn't do anything to Beelzebub with the two patches that were out. Nothing for him. In fact, he got a little bit nerfed. The nerfs they're not so bad because you don't really feel them. It's more like universal mechanics of the game that got nerfed, and now he's been affected by it as well. So he didn't get anything but that, that little nerf. He didn't get a buff or anything, and a lot of people were expecting that maybe he would get something, and he didn't. And I was like, man, I'm not gonna complain if people want a buff for Beelzebub. I was okay with it, but it seems like he's got nothing. So pretty much with this character, I feel like there's no real game plan. As I was playing this character, I was just doing stuff, and people were beating my ass. At some point I got frustrated, and I developed this weird playstyle where I do a lot of weird things, trying to hide my offense, trying to bait some stuff. It just feels really awkward and weird. Like, you cannot play this character clean. You have to do a lot of random stuff to make the opponent think that you're trying to do something, but it's not really the case. He's a character that relies a lot on fear, but it's unfortunate because his tools are not that good. They're not good enough to create fear in the opponent. It's very much like, let's say, Yoshimitsu from Tekken. In Tekken, Yoshimitsu relies a lot on fear as well. He's a good character. Yoshimitsu is actually a good character, but he relies you need to create fear in your opponent. You need to do a lot of stuff for your opponent to start being scared, And Yoshimitsu has tools that are very good for that. But Beelzebub, you play a character like Beelzebub, and it's like, there's nothing to fear about him. A lot of his moves are very predictable. His teleport is very slow. His dive in the air is very slow. His projectiles are also very slow. He has slow recovery on a lot of stuff. He has slow startup on a lot of stuff. And on top of that, he needs to initiate offense a lot with his light attacks, causing him to not have a lot of damage in an entire fight. And you'll notice also that a lot of rounds with Beelzebub are very long. They are very long rounds because he's not doing a lot. He's not damaging the opponent a lot. He's doing a lot of random stuff. There's not really clean play style for this character. Unfortunately, it's a bit chaotic, not for the opponent but for you. You know, things are not making a lot of sense when you play this character. And I wish he had a buff. If there was a buff that I really wanted for this character, honestly, I would say he needs to have the ability to do a proper micro dash. You know, a lot of characters like, let's say, Catalina, Gran, and even some of the other characters like Diva, Zeta, they can do a lot of micro dash. And micro dashes are good because they allow you to get the best out of things like your 5M, your 5H, and things like that. But because Beelzebub cannot do a proper micro dash because it's extremely heavy, he has like Vasaraga speed, he cannot poke. He's a character that cannot poke, he cannot control. His teleport, you don't use it pretty much. If you use it, you want to use it when your opponent is really confused. Like, you have to wait about 30 seconds before you start using teleportation, because if you do it just randomly like that, people are just gonna wait for you. It's so easy to bait. It's so easy to bait and punish him after that. So the character is like super random. I don't know. So like I said, if I want a buff for him, I would like him to have slightly better mobility. Just a mobility that is good enough for him to do a micro dash. That would be really nice. That would be really great, because his movement is really bad. It makes him feel very clunky. You cannot do things like 5H, you cannot do things like 5M at all. You cannot even do like 2M, which is a really good move that he has, but you cannot take advantage of it because he's very slow and he has a lot of pushback. Something that I definitely want, if they don't want to buff anything about this character, something that is required for him, in my opinion, is definitely going to be his chip damage on his specials. I really feel like this character needs to have better chip damage on his special moves. His projectiles need to have better chip damage. His what is it called, Chaos Caliber, it needs to have better chip damage, in my opinion. All these things need to have better chip damage. I like the character a lot. I really want to reach SSS with him. I don't know if I will be able to, but we're gonna see how things go. We're gonna see. I'm not sure how things will go if I keep playing this character, but I'm glad I was able to reach S rank at least. Not gonna lie, I feel like I don't know. I feel like the trip that I had with other characters helped me a lot, but there's only so much that I can do with this character.